And my apologies, because obviously I was muted. So, welcome to another episode of On the Capo Stand podcast. I'm your host, David, and alongside yours truly is our good friend John. John, how you doing?
Good, David. How are you?
Fantastic, my friend. And Ahmed, how you doing, Ahmed?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you guys doing
Good,
today?
good. Thank you, sir. And my apologies once again. That we're trying to figure out what's going on when we come in at the beginning. You can't see it because actually I'm seeing myself on the screen. The intro is still playing in the background, so automatically mutes my microphone, and we're gonna have to figure out how to do that. So not so much for the people that are watching us, but the people on audio, sort of like this huge gap of no sound. Guys, you can join us if you want, if you would like to. Just send us a DM on one of the following apps, and we will happily bring you on board. We're live on Twitch at On the Capo Stand, on X at On the Capo Stand, on YouTube at David's Channel 76, Instagram at On the Capo Stand, Facebook at On the Capo Stand, TikTok at On the Capo Stand, Threads at On the Capo Stand, and Blue Sky at On the Capo Stand. So you can interact with us there as well. Um, and if you are listening to us, obviously you know, but for those thank you for all everybody that's watching us live. You can listen to us on any application where you usually consume your podcast. Let that be Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're in a bunch of those. So thank you very much for everybody that is going to be listening to us on that, or for those folks that are going to be watching the show recorded on Facebook later on. I'm sorry, on YouTube later on. Thank you very much. All right, guys. So now we know who our rival is going to be. It's going to be Columbus after they defeated Atlanta United 4-2. Basically, returning the favor in Columbus to Atlanta. The game is going to be Saturday, November 25th. Thanksgiving weekend, 5:30 p.m. Um, if you don't have tickets yet, please go ahead and buy some. Your team needs you. We gotta fill the house. It's gonna be a beautiful day for football. Sunset is expected at 5:30. Temperature is gonna be in the mid to low 60s. No sun, obviously, like I said. So it's the humidity is gonna be at 80%. So it's expected to be a good night for the beautiful game. Before opening the microphone to the gentleman and to the topics that we're going to talk tonight, one thing that I forgot last show is to thank our veterans. I included myself in that as I serve in the United States Navy, active duty and reserves. Also send a big shout out to my father, David Valentin Sr., who served in the Army, third Armored Division over there in West Germany, expecting the Russians to come. They never did. Spoiler alert. And thank you very much to everybody that served and that is part of this fan base, and obviously that listens to us. Thank you very much. Hope you had a great weekend, gentlemen. Let's start the game. Let's start talking about subjects. One that just happened, and it was an incognito event, was the fact that Section 1 is going to be looking very differently in 2024. And for that, I'm going to give the microphone to our friend Ahmed. This actually came up on LinkedIn. If you are not following the club or people that work for the club on LinkedIn, I suggest you do. It's an environment where the business side of the club is shared. And like I told the boys, I get my jobs from LinkedIn. I have people that I work with on there. So if you're gonna do that, remember, it's not Twitter, it's not Facebook. Don't act like an animal. I see a lot of the guys from Orlando City acting like animals there, talking trash and all sorts of things. My friends, You don't know if the next guy that is going to give you a job follows Miami or Atlanta. So just word to the wise. All right, Ahmed, can you shuttle us into what's going to happen with
Yes.
Section 1 next year?
Absolutely, absolutely. And David, I put it up on the screen for those who are watching with us live. So that's what you had shared the other day on social media. For those of you who are not familiar, section one is that corner section that is under the scoreboard,
Hmm.
right? So now it has regular seating. And I've always wondered like how you get sections because right behind there was like a bar top, and I always wondered how to get the seats there. So, like you mentioned, they posted the other day about it, and I actually got they send out a mass email, and I got one from my ticket rep. So I'm like, you know what the heck? Let me find out just to get a little bit more detail because they like everything else, they make it sound really good, and it is a really good deal if you are one with that kind of disposable income. I'll call it that, right? Because the perks about it, let me see if I can find it here. So it's all inclusive. It includes the food and drinks, just like some of the premium sections, like the East Club and the West Club. But you have, if you see these pictures over here, I'll try to zoom in a little bit. Hold on. If you guys can see that, they're gonna have like these tables with chairs. So it's either gonna be 2 or 4 chairs at a table, and they're gonna be like bolted down, right? So they're not like movable around or anything.
Hmm.
And you'll have service of your food to your table. So you scan a QR code, they bring you the food to your table. So it's almost like a really full service premium type setting. Super cool, right? And it
Yeah.
includes, get this, it includes the tickets to all of the Pride games and all of the Orlando City
And
games.
the events that are
Yeah.
held at the stadium.
And the events that held at the stadium. So that means it includes the regular season matches, the Leagues Cup group stage matches, and the semifinal of the U.S. Open Cup home match. So
And
all of that
national
is
team?
included, huh?
National team as well?
I didn't see anything about the national
Okay.
team.
All
And
right.
it says you'll have first rights to reserve the table for the playoffs and WSL playoffs, League Cup knockout stages, and more, obviously.
How
And
much are we talking about, brother?
it includes the parking too in the tailgate lot. You know what they're
Oh,
charging the for? Yeah.
listen, if you go to 17 home games, 17 times $20, $25, that by itself, my friends,
Well,
by
here's the thing.
itself.
It comes out to about $100 per seat per game. So
Really?
for the table of four, but there's a catch, right? The table of four, it's a $15,000 for the season.
I'm rich, but not that rich.
Wait,
At
wait,
least I
wait.
like
It,
to
it
think.
gets better. It gets better. I'm like, you know what? When I saw it, I was like, I'm not like, if you know where I sit like over like on the east side. I'm like, if they had something like that over where I was sitting, I'm like, you almost have my attention now, right? But this is in the corner. I'm like, I don't know. And the kicker for me, it's not covered.
Right. And
It's
you
not
can't
covered.
see and you can't see the
Scoreboard.
screen. You just gotta look like that, right?
But the biggest part is like it's not covered. At least like in the West Club, right? Or in the East Club, if you're sitting further down, you can come back up and find like some shelter of some type. In
Yeah,
this
for
case,
15K, I better have
where are you gonna
something.
go? And
I, I,
and I
I better have like somebody with an umbrella holding it over my head or something.
and it's a 2 year commitment.
What?
Yes, 2 year commitment.
Nah, I'm
Yeah.
not liking you. I'm not liking you, man. This
Yeah,
is
man. It sounded great at first, and then the more she was talking, I was like, wow. I'm like, I'm sure you'll sell it out. I'm sure people will buy it because they have 4 top tables and 2 top tables. But the fact that if money was not an issue, I don't even think I would even think twice about
I
it, just
don't know,
because of the
bro.
fact that it's not covered. You know, it's like if
Uh,
I'm sitting there, it starts
yeah.
pouring, which we know early in the season it does. What am I gonna do?
I
Pop
don't
up
know about
my
you guys. I mean,
yeah.
like 15K, man. That's woo. That's a brand new compact car straight
Yeah.
off the lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's about a quarter of what I owe in student loans.
Yeah. But the thing is that like if you do the math, I'm saying if you price it out, it's like paying for every ticket $100, which is about what like the some of the all inclusive tickets come out to about. but it's for every game for both teams.
Okay, so if you got the uh,
Yeah.
where's my oldest son when I need somebody that can do
I
big
think the
math in
seat
there?
it came out to like 37.50 per seat at the four top.
Okay, $400 times 17 games. That that would actually be 23 and a half, 23,000. So
Yeah.
I guess it has to be less than
Yeah.
say 15K
Yeah.
because
I mean, if you have the money to throw at it, it's not a bad deal. But for me, the killer was like I said, even if the money was a non-issue, it's not covered at
yeah,
all. You have nowhere
I
to
s-
go.
one year I on a knee jerk reaction I moved to the East Club
Hmm.
because my wife, there's a guy, and nothing against the guy. When I say this, everybody is gonna know who I'm talking about. There's a guy that
Let me
like to
let me guess.
scream.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and my wife just did not like this dude. She's like, that's just too much. I can't take it. So I'm like, okay, great. We'll just move to the center and you get free food or whatever, and free quote unquote, right? Because we're paying for it.
Mhm.
So I stood there. First game that we went to was the opener, and it was like at noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, something
Yeah.
like that. And
Yeah.
the sun was beaming. It was like being. It was so hot that my phone is like it's too hot. You gotta put it in like in the shade. And anyhow, I remember telling my wife, I said, "Hey, you're gonna be driving because I want to drink, right? I'm gonna get my money's worth." And my wife was like, "No, baby, don't worry about it. That's what I'm gonna do." So I see that she's grabbing a glass of wine, and I say, "Hey, remember what I said?" She's like, "No, it's okay. Just one glass. It's not gonna hurt anybody." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I knew at halftime because I've been in the game. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I looked at her, and she looks at me with these glassy eyes, and she says, "David, I think I overdid it." I'm like, "Dang it." So I didn't get to drink that, and anybody that has been to the games with me knows. I don't drink because I usually either driving my company vehicle, which I can use for personal use. The last thing I want to do is catch a DUI. You know what I mean? I mean, you may say, "Oh, David, one beer is nothing," but my luck.
Yeah. I hear
You
you.
know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. John, what do you think about this, man? Would you trade your TCC corner on the wall for $15,000 worth of plastic table and your own waiter during the game?
I mean, my opinion of it is it's what we've talked about on the show before is how it's taking the sport away from the common person, the common individual, the
Yeah.
every 9 to 5 Monday through Friday type of person, and
Hmm.
it's I understand why the club's doing it. Like you said, I'm sure they'll sell the tickets out, quote unquote, but it'll get to where only the big matches there'll be people there. Other than that, it'll just be a giant black hole on in that corner of the stadium, and
Yeah.
it's sad. It lessens our attendance. Did that page you have up, Ahmed? Did it say how much it was lessening the attendance by?
No, it didn't.
Okay, I saw
It
it on
did.
Twitter.
They're gonna make their money by selling those tickets, but
Well,
the
yeah,
attendance, I'm assuming, is gonna get hit because you're gonna lose chairs
exactly.
or
Yeah, you're
seats.
losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple. It was like 500 seats, I think, maybe even more that they were losing, and yeah, it's just taking the sport in the wrong direction, in my opinion, of making it more of an elitist sport and not for the
Hmm.
everyman. And you know, would it be cool to sit in those seats? Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky enough to sit in box, club seats or whatever you want to call them,
Hmm.
at the Amway Center with previous jobs I've had. They're cool, but it's like you're not paying attention to the game. You're more paying attention to what food and drinks are there, and having a good
And
time with
talking to
the
people,
people that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
with. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that
and
1 year for hockey, man, and you're absolutely right. You forget what you're there for.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, there's it's at least at Amway, and I'm sure at Explorer it'll be the same thing. It's more that turns it more into a social event than a sporting event, in my opinion.
And Orlando City has a suite at Amway, and the Magic have a suite at
Hmm.
Exploria. So the Magic players and their associates come to the games and vice versa. Because I've seen there's a lot of guys from Orlando City that are big basketball fans, and they're always recording themselves at the games and all that, which I think is
Well, and like
super
Ahmed
cool.
said, it's not even covered. A premium seat like that, even if they constructed an extra covering for it, it's not,
Yeah.
it has to be covered because what's going to happen, if it's like it was this year, you get to June, July, and August, and every,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if you get lucky, you'll have one a month that's got a rain delay and gets rained on.
Yeah, for 15K, man. For 15K, wow, I expect a lot. I gotta tell you, I have experienced the East Club, the West Club. I a couple of years back when they had the season ticket member jamboree, the focus group. Uh, they took care of us at the Audi Club, which is if you're looking at the stadium, the West Club, the West stand, I guess, is gonna be towards the flags, all the way at the top. By the way, that's where our trophies reside. Which, in my opinion, those trophies should be in the lobby or somewhere where people can take pictures. Like take pictures with them in the breezeway. That's just my opinion. I think instead of hushing them away, they should be accessible for all the fans. But I digress. So I've seen pretty much everything, with the exception of the suites, obviously, because your friend David Valentin, he doesn't have money like that yet, because I'm working on it. Once my kids get out of the house, then boom, you know how it goes. But I got one thing I gotta tell you guys, and actually we're talking quite extensively about this, because I think it's something that because usually the shows are packed with stuff about the sport itself. We don't talk about this a lot. Um, Ellis Platten, who is a English personality, a YouTuber, great channel. His channel Away Days. He has been to Orlando 6 times, I think. Last time he was here was last season in the summer against Charlotte. So go check him out. It's a good dude, and he has this thing where he goes and check out as part of his content, hospitality in English clubs of different levels, and from EPL all the way down to the lower leagues, non-leagues, and obviously the cost, it's different, but the perks are pretty much the same. Like some places, they give you the game ball. Things that I've seen that they do, they give you the game ball. They let you deliver the game ball. You go into the pitch to shake hands with the players. It's always a gimmick. I mean, and the prices fluctuate per game, per ticket, from £50 to about 3 grand. And I don't know about you, but to throw £3,000, which averages close to 38, 3900 dollars for one game. I mean, trust me, they better give you the world. And one of the things that he has found out, especially in the EPL, is if you go for the introductory dinner and you go for the halftime aperitif and you go to the after game dinner, you are really going to a restaurant. You're not going there for the game. You're gonna miss some of the action. So these things that they do, and I experienced that in the West Club when I went with my family. Big shout out to the club that did a solid by me. They gave me free tickets, I have to say, for something that had happened to us, and they compensated us that way. I noticed how a lot of people are not watching the game; they're just there picking out. I mean, you can do that at Golden Corral, cheaper too, better food. You know what I mean? I'm watching the game. My wife said, "No, no, hold on." They got roasted lamb with couscous and unlimited wine, and I'm like, forget it, I lost
Wasn't
her.
the thing in especially England too that they can't have alcohol in the seats? They have to they have to keep them
Right, right. You
Um,
cannot.
the
Yeah,
sound of the
that's very true. Yeah, you can have alcohol in the stands, but you can't. And you can consume uh before halftime and after. Not in the stands themselves. That's why um the the uh it's so attractive to have God, the word escapes my mind. I said it 17 billion times. Hospitality. That's the why hospitality, because you can get off from your seat, go to enjoy all this crap, and then get back to your seat right away, while everybody else is standing in line getting pies and cheese fries and that type of stuff. Now I gotta tell you, and for everybody playing, take your shots, mark your bingo cards. My team, Stevenage in England, does have um, the hospitality, and you have the 76 club, 76 because the club was born in 1976, as yours truly. So you go there, you start pounding beers. It's a great place. Most people catch a game on TV while they're waiting, and it's a great experience. But again, you gotta pay. You gotta pay some dollars, and then after that, then you go to your seat, and all that is great. But I'm a firm believer, just like John said, that football is the game of the blue collar working man, and for me, that's what I'm there for. I'm not there to be seen. I'm there to cheer my boys, and I understand the club wants to, make more money, and for a lot of people, they're not there to watch every single move like me. They're probably there, have a good time and chit chat and spend time with family. And the game's just an excuse to get out of the house. So perhaps I may be offside on that one. See what I did there? All right, guys. If one of you guys can read Vixen's comment,
Sure, I got it. Vixen said, "I agree with you, David, that our trophies should be in the main lobby. That would be really, really cool."
what do you think, John?
yeah, I mean, they should be out on display for everybody to be able to see, and it should be a boosting point of the club. It shouldn't just be one of those where it's opening night or whatever of the season after you win it, it's on display and then it goes back into the cupboard for only a select few to see. It should be something that's out there making a statement to opposing fans, and something for the visiting home fans, the people from the UK or out of state or wherever,
Thank you, John.
can come and take a picture. And it kind of goes to the thing that David and I talked about earlier in the year about how the club has kind of went away from entertaining the foreign traveler, especially those from the UK, and having the little free handouts. I did find out, by the way, meant to bring this up a couple weeks ago. They do have a pin for people attending their first match. A little,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
I got to
which I
see
thought
that.
was a
Remember,
really
Ahmed?
good touch. Yeah,
No.
You don't remember the girl that was sitting in front of us in the East Club? And I said,
Oh,
"Excuse me,
yes,
were you?"
yes. The
Yeah,
pin.
yeah, and it was an accident, John. She just mentioned because she was having a problem getting her phone, the ticket to be reading, and
hmm
she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just my first time." And she's like, "Oh, the lady from security was like, oh, it's your first time. Here, a button." And I just thought that was super cool. But
yeah. So anybody that's listening, if you bring a friend that it's their first time, or
please do that.
kids that it's their first time, let the when you walk in, let the ticket the person working the ticket scanner know, and then they'll get a free button that says first Orlando City match or something like that.
Please do that.
um yeah, and like the postcards that they do, that they used to do, stuff like that, they really went away from as well. So I
No,
just think the
absolutely.
trophy
You
is
know
another
one
aspect
thing,
of
guys,
that.
that I wish we had back, the 50-50 raffle, man.
Hmm.
That is so traditionally English. Because take another shot. My Stevenage does this, and a lot of EFL teams. And this is how it works. You they establish a price per ticket, $5, $10, whatever it is, and you buy as many as you want. And with each ticket that you buy, it's an opportunity for you to win, right? and the more people that participate, the bigger the pot is. So let's say
Mhm.
$2,000, $3,000. Well, if there's $3,000, you win 1,500, and the other 1,500 goes to the Orlando City Foundation. I thought it was a great way to collect money, funds for the foundation, which they already do a fantastic job as is, and at the same time, it was a great way for people to have a lot of fun. And to me, it was just part of the dynamic. I think we walked away from that maybe in 2016, 2015, 2016,
It
and it
was
was
yeah,
just
it was right when we moved to MLS.
yeah, and it was such an integral part of our game day experience. And here on the show, I have shown you how, take another shot, Steve Inich does the programs that now they walked away. They by the way, the person that designs the programs at Steve Inich sent me every single one of them. 24 home games plus Carabao and FA. I mean, I can't thank him enough. And basically, it's just a cardboard, and you just scan the QR code, and you get like the magazine of the team, and it costs very little. I think I would love for us to do that. I know that social media sort of kills the idea of having a team magazine, but I will go for that, even if sending it to my house or something. I mean, there's a lot of things that culturally,
Hmm.
um, I would love for our club to
Or
imitate. If
even
we have some,
even a game day program, something that's 5, maybe ten
Mhm.
bucks has just basic info on the club, the expected, the rosters of each club, and then like the series history, trophies won by the other club, trophies won by us, and sell that for 5, 10 bucks. People would eat that. I mean, think about going to a baseball game. I don't know if you guys have ever
Hmm.
been to a Major League Baseball game, but
I have
before the game, one of the first vendors you get to is right after you ticket in, is they're selling the game day programs.
there we
And
go. See, it's
that's another collector item. I mean, I know people that collect those, in
hmm
baseball and basketball. Now, both you keep score a little differently in them. You can it's a little easier to be a statistician in those games because the action isn't so constant, especially in baseball. But still, that would be somebody's coming over from England for their yearly trip. Think about our friend Tom. He would eat that up for the 2 game, 1 or 2 game
I can
period.
tell you
And
that right now. I can tell you that he will agree with you. Not only him, our friend Dan from the English Lion, Taylor from Orlando City, UK. This is something that we have talked in private conversations before about, and I'm gonna say it. And they have said it before that it seems like the club has neglected the tourist, the Orlando City fan that does not live in the United States, that comes here every other year, every 2 years, once a year. And we need to respect that fan base, because that fan base is just as engaged,
hmm
just as they spend money. I would say they probably spend more money, because to them it's a one-time event. So they
hmm
go all out. I know that when Tom was here, he went balls to the wall, as we know,
in more
uh,
ways than one, David.
in more ways than one. And he bought merch, and he oh man, I was talking to Tom yesterday, because we bought pins. There was this guy that was selling pins of, it was like a copy of the stadium and the logo of your team. So obviously he got some from Bolton, and I did for Steven to take a shot. And it was a lot of fun. So again, guys, I know we had gone on a tangent, but I think those type of things need to be talked about, because merch and these type of traditions elevate fan engagement, big words for the people in the front office, and also fan loyalty, and this is what makes a lot of people return. When you're walking around with your Orlando City shirt or whatever, people get engaged. People on my job are sick and tired of me talking about Orlando City, and trust
So
me,
before we move
they
on, let's get the comments up because I
I
got
mean,
a few
take the care of the
comments that are
comments.
yeah. I'll go
Yep.
ahead and take them if my
All
mouse
right.
starts to look. There we go.
So Serge Nash.
Yeah, Serge Nash, rotating lion statue would be nice too, with a Nashville skull under the lion's foot.
Yeah,
I know that's something that's been in talk since we got the
I don't think it's
stadium.
gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't
Honestly,
think it's unfortunately going to happen. And then Miss Rosa, don't they still do the raffle on Main Street outside and then announce the winner during halftime, or is that something
that's
else?
something else, my friend. That's $100 gift card from Publix. And I gotta be honest with you, they're supposed to announce the winner over the announce the speaker. I never hear them, and I just quit going to pick up a ticket because I'm like, why am I gonna waste my time going over there getting a ticket if they're not gonna mention who the winner is. But
And
the
then
50.
my dad mentioned also
Mhm.
that when we were at the FC Cincinnati, when he texted me about it, he doesn't know how to comment on YouTube, so
It's all
forgive
good.
him.
It's all good, Dad. I
He
appreciate your
that
input.
FC Cincinnati did have a 50-50 at their match when we were there.
I'm telling you, it's for a good cause. If anybody is listening to this that has the ear of K Rollins or somebody in the foundation or in the front office, this is something that I mentioned to Jared Dillon when we had the powwow 2 years ago. That I would like. Personally, I my wife and I enjoyed doing the 50-50. It was fun. It was just like a little caramel to the ice cream. It was just fun. It was cool. We won one time we won some money. I think it was like $500. It wasn't that bad. So it's like a reward for going to the game.
Hmm.
And if more people get invested, more money for the foundation, more money for people if they win it. We got the comments. All right, so let's move on to the next comment. The next topic. It's the Little Bro Cup. This past weekend, uh, this past Friday, I should say, Inter Miami and New York City had um, a friendly. It was a complete embarrassment. Messi failed to score. New York City beat Miami 2-1, and Messi looked like someone who wasn't interested to be there. He looked like an old man. And I got news for you guys. If this is the Messi that we're gonna have in 2024 during the regular season, I got news for you. The Inter Miami is gonna be dead last in the league. Whatever magic happened in Leagues Cup that's it. That's if you want a classic Messi, you got him for 4, 5, 6 games, whatever that was. Because next year, my friends, they're hitting the road for champions, and then regular season, then Open Cup, the Leagues Cup. Does 37-year-old Messi, 38 by then, has the energy for 4 tournaments plus World Cup qualifiers? The jury says no, but if you go online, people think that the guy can turn water into wine or walk over water, but that's the sacrilegious people like that are gonna leave him to their own devices. Um, John, I know you didn't watch it. I'm very proud of you because that's what an Orlando City fan should do. I believe you, like myself, just watch the highlights on YouTube. That way, we don't give Apple Plus any love. Um, if you guys want to comment on this, feel free.
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was funny. Um, it's supposed to be a friendly match, and supposedly it was to celebrate his awards.
Yeah, Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, and I think it fell flat on its face. Honestly, a friendly match. Seriously, like I mean, it, it was supposed to be a friendly match, and I mean, there was at least 2 or 3 times that I saw that they were at each other's throats. I mean, this is supposed to be like a celebratory match that means nothing, and let me tell you,
Pacey.
you know, and I told my son, I'm like, watch what's gonna happen. 90 something minute, Messi's gonna get fouled. It's gonna be right in his spot, and they're gonna score and either tie it or win. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. And that was like early on. And I said to him, it's like that first game when they did with the Leagues Cup. And sure enough, he got fouled right outside the box in his spot. But guess what? He didn't score and they lost. Which I
Yeah,
thought was
he hit the
that
post,
was just
right?
the
Something
icing
like
on the
that.
cake. That was the icing on the cake.
Oh man, you know,
I mean, the point that's getting lost here, guys, is we, David and I think Ahmed, you were part of the show early enough, where we essentially called it. He's going to come out, be be look like him his old self when the first month or two, and then all of a sudden the stress of the travel and the amount of games with the travel and all of that are going to catch up to him. He lasted what, a month and a half until he got an
yeah, he was
injury,
done. He was done.
and played in what, four MLS league matches, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Made a lot of soccer fans mad by not playing in the matches these people were idiots for, and spent hundreds and thousands of dollars to go see one player play. And then this next year, it's going to be more of the same thing. And then, I do have to shout out Misael Rosa for your comment because I couldn't think of his name, but Suarez. They're bringing in Suarez.
Man, that guy's an old man. I'm
The man's,
sorry.
yeah, he's an old man. His knees are terrible. Unless he's biting somebody, he doesn't have anything else.
I watched some of his games with Nacional in Uruguay, and at that point he was starting the decline. Then he went to Brazil with Grêmio. By the way, Grêmio is a powerhouse of Brazilian football, and the man acted like a total d bag, trying to force his move to Miami. And I'm gonna be honest with you. He's just coming to grab a last paycheck, get the band together, take some pictures, and go in a flame of glory. I welcome him, and he's biting and he's handballs to avoid goals that are gonna give the other team wins. I welcome all of that mess because I'm a
Honestly,
person that thrives
the
on chaos.
handball, I do that was a heck of a play, and it turned out that was actually, I didn't. I thought that was a heck of a play. Kept his team in it, and then uh, they ended up getting a result instead of losing.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah, he
But
did
I mean,
that. They did, and Ghana returned a favor in Qatar, knocking them off. So football gives, football
yeah,
takes. It's cruel and unpredictable. But so like I said, I welcome all that. I welcome all that madness because I'm a person that thrives in it, and I don't shy away from it. Guys, to move away because we're running out of time here. um, what I let you guys know, Antonio Nocerino, my wife's favorite Orlando City fan from all times because he's from Naples, Italy, like her grandpa. Um, he is going to be the new manager of Miami FC of the USL Championship. Interesting here, the interim manager of Miami was former legendary Orlando City Lion Lewis Neal, the man who has the privilege and honor to be the first Lion to score a goal in our history, either USL or MLS. And before that, it was another legendary Orlando City player, Anthony Pulis, who resigned. We don't know if he's going. What I suspect is he's going to be propping his head somewhere in MLS next year, since 11 managers were fired in MLS this season. Quite possibly more after playoffs. Who knows? And he's either going to take a managerial position or he is going to be in the staff. Mind you, that Anthony Pulis was an assistant to here in Orlando to Inchi, to Adrian Heath in USL and MLS. Also, he was the the inaugural manager for OCB. He also managed St. Louis FC in USL, and now and spent 2 seasons as an assistant in Miami, Inter Miami. So the guy's been around and he's very capable of doing that. Phil Neville, The Phil Neville is like the cockroaches. He just doesn't die. Has been named the new Portland Timbers manager. It's gonna be interesting, and I know Ahmed has some info on that that I would like to discuss. And last but not least, the Phoenix Rising, which is a club that a lot of guys that I work with follow. Because we have our Western HQ for my company is in Scottsdale, Arizona. So congratulations to those guys. They have crowned themselves as the USL Championship champions for 2023, beating the Charleston Battery. In the NWSL, Gotham FC has crowned themselves champion. Congratulations to them. And in for national teams, Galeza Cartagena and Torres are with Peru and Uruguay, respectively. Um, with that said, I mean, what was the situation with Phil? That there was some controversy about that.
Yeah, so it was the other day. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 days ago. I saw the post that he was going to be the coach of the Portland Timbers, but then apparently, one of the supporters groups asked the franchise to reconsider him having him as a coach because I did not know this. Apparently, way back in 2011, he went on there on Twitter, put out some tweets which were fairly offensive to some people, and those were rearing their ugly head back up until this past week. I'm actually looking at them right now, but uh,
I mean, obviously, without because we're a family show, but I mean, what were they
yeah,
about?
it wasn't anything vulgar. I'll share it on the screen so you could see. Hold on, be easier to. um, but either way, he basically said that he addressed these in 2019 when he was head coach of the England women's team. And
Hmm.
he said, "There's well, let me share my screen here, and we can so this way anybody who's viewing can."
While the Ahmed is doing that, there was also some controversy about Man City's Julian Alvarez, who was playing for River Plate at the time. We scouted this player. We offered $10 million for him. He said no to us. He went to Man City. And like I said to the guys before we recorded, if you are a kid with a lot of talent in a country with 180% inflation, and your family are poor, and these two clubs come knocking, who do you choose? And as much as I would love to say Orlando City, that's not going to be the chance. I know some people were trying to clown us by saying, "Oh my God, he turned down MLS." Of course, he's going to turn down MLS if Man City comes knocking. So, not going to give much to it. Some people tried to clown us on that, and we try to defend the honor of our club by saying, "Hey, we have great scouting. We offer the money. He didn't take it. We got Facundo Torres, and we got trophies to lift." Go ahead, I mean.
Yeah, so some of the tweets are here up on the screen. You see, he said he tweeted at somebody. He said, "You women have always wanted equality until it comes to paying the bills." and then there was,
Well, I don't know. It's
and then he said, "When I said morning men, I thought women would be busy preparing breakfast and getting the kids ready, making the bed. Sorry, morning women." So
man.
stuff like that. But I mean,
Listen, these are things that men say among themselves. In my shop, just to let you know, I've been working in our office where we repair some of the X-ray machines that we use for demos and trade shows and whatnot, and awful things are said there. The reality is, you put a bunch of married men in one room, they're gonna say things like this. So I'm
yeah,
not shocked.
yeah,
Perhaps some people with a selective outrage think this is objectionable, but I have to say that I think it's okay. I mean, professionally, yes, should have better
yeah,
understanding, but
yeah,
I I don't find
Well,
them.
it's one of those things you don't put on social media as well. David, you know more than anybody.
No,
Well, way more than
for
anybody
sure, for
probably
sure.
of
The
what
internet's
to and what not
forever.
to put on what to and what not to put on social media. So I mean,
Yeah,
some
at least I have the common sense to to say, hey, after years of reflection, maybe that wasn't the smart thing to do. But in our fan base, that's not enough. We have a fan base where leaders of supporter groups do doxing, and nothing has happened here. And they're gonna be on the 24th. They're gonna be on their capo stand, like nothing ever happened. So, I again, don't come to me talking about morals and forgiveness or anything like that when you have a guy on a capo stand using racial epithets against a fan of another fan base and putting his address out there. I'm gonna say it right now. Until you kick that guy out of the stadium, don't come to me
All
telling me that I lack moral fiber. That's all I gotta say.
right.
I'm honest. I'm honest. And I'm drinking the truth syrup, so you guys know that I'm for real. Guys, do we have we missed any of the comments before we move
Yes.
on
Oh
to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
we have a
nitty-gritty?
few.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Let's see here. Serge Nash. He said, I was in Nashville for a great win. And do you know how quiet Geodis Park was during that second part of the game?
Woo!
Silence. I loved it. It was breath. I
Was
was
it quiet
breathing
like
in.
a cemetery? Because I know Search. I believe correct me if I'm wrong, my friend. You went to the away game. Was it quiet like a cemetery or quiet like a church at midnight? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to. And by the way, the attendance, horrendous. Now I gotta give it to them. The fact that they painted the seats different colors, you can't really tell when they're empty
Yeah.
or not.
Hmm.
Stroke of genius.
Yeah.
Stroke of genius,
He continues to say, You should have seen Gary Smith's face when I screamed at him. Go back to England."
bro. Serge, you should have told him Stevenage was right about you. Come on, for those drinking, take your shot, punch your bingo card. Next time you guys see him, if he has a job next year, say that I am told by the faithful of the Tricky Reds of England that he really, really is still butthurt about being fired from Stevenage. So,
And there you go.
uh,
There's your answer, Dave.
cemetery silence. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's go to business.
Hey, David.
Um,
Before we do, one thing I just popped up on my in my mind.
Yemen.
I don't know what this means anything future state, but I heard that the in MLS next, right?
Uh-huh.
There's a new team in Jacksonville
Yes.
Armada FC, and the MLS
Yep.
Next Pro.
Wait a minute. Oh, next pro, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know
But by the way,
what that
they
means.
were in NASL. They were rumored to be joining USL Championship for a while. I wish them the best. I personally think that this independent teams in MLX Next Pro are not gonna flourish.
Okay.
We saw that with Richmond, which I was hoping that Richmond Rhinos will make a comeback. They're a team with a lot of history in the United States, and I know upstate New York. Excuse me. Excuse me. Would be better if they were back at it. But I wish them the best. By the way, the first goalkeeper for the Jacksonville Armada was our beloved Miguel Gallardo, and I watched them play Puerto Rico Football Club
Oh
in
wow.
July of 2017 in Puerto Rico. And by the way, it was a nil-nil result. I was super super upset. I wanted to scream a goal, and did not happen. But that said, no, I'm happy. I'm happy for them. I think Jackson was a big city. They deserve to have a good football club. In my opinion, Jacksonville should have a football club. Tallahassee should have a football club, and Pensacola should have a football club. Vixen, I see that you're coming in. I'm gonna hold you on for a minute, my brother, if you don't mind. If you don't mind me waiting. Guys, so Columbus defeated Atlanta. Any of you guys watch the game?
Yes.
Okay, you did. You did, John. Okay. In my opinion, because I did watch the game that happened in Atlanta. Atlanta won. They didn't sweat it out. 4-2. They left. Pumping their chest and all that. And they went to Columbus, and I mean everything that was supposed to go wrong just went wrong in the first 6 minutes. It just a complete disaster, which is a warning for Orlando City. You cannot let these guys get away with it because they are like slippery snakes. You're not gonna be able to hold on to them. And at the end of the day, Atlanta was out. Their fan base once Gonzalo Pineda gone, they want Gusan gone, they want Bocanegra gone. You know, these people talk so much trash in 2017 and 2018. And I remember at the time saying, "Hey, football is cyclical. You know, this is your success is an abnormality. You should thank your lucky stars. You know, this does not happen to anybody." And I was told that I was jealous, that that my club this, that, and the other, and look how far they've fallen. John, any comments about this, and then Ahmed, and then we're gonna let our friend Vixen come in.
I mean, about the upcoming game, honestly, just defend. You know, Columbus, we've shown we can put goals up against in very quick succession. If the boys defend well, defend like they did against Nashville, you know, we should be able to win. It's a home match, no excuse for us not to win. We got three players that were robbed of awards, so they got even more to play of or play for. So the boys should be ready, and we should come away with a victory and move on to the conference finals.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Ahmed.
yeah. I mean, I completely agree. Watching the game, my biggest concern is looking at when we played Nashville, all those missed opportunities. We can't afford missed opportunities like that against a team like Columbus. I don't want to be the comeback to come back like we did the last time we played them at home. We need to come up early, and we can't risk anything. It
Oh,
just,
for sure.
it has to be at this point. Every game is the final for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't want PKs. I don't want to draw. I want a win, a win, a win. That's it, man.
And
We
people are
Absolutely.
already talking about Columbus, it being a Columbus Seattle rematch in the Cup final. So they're
Yeah,
already over. The media, the national media, is already overlooking us.
yeah.
Whenever
Nobody's
they gave
talking
us
about us.
praise a
Yeah.
couple weeks
And
ago.
honestly, for me, that's a big part of why we need to win. We don't want to win just by chance. We want to win so that this is for me. If you said, do you want Atlanta or do you want Columbus? I would have probably preferred to play Atlanta because Columbus is going to be the more challenging for us. But if we're going to win, this is the way to win, and we have to beat them because this way it says we deserve what we're getting. We're not just winning by chance, right? Kind of like with the whole U.S. Open Cup thing. We need to shut down all those haters by beating the team that people said you're not going to beat, right?
I
So
agree.
that's it. That's it. I
And the
mean,
team I was most afraid of was Nashville. To be honest with you, I don't know
yeah,
how you
I
guys
agree.
feel, but I was most
Yeah,
afraid
same
of us
here.
I think,
getting by
yeah,
Nashville, and I feel like that monkey's off our back now,
yep.
and we can move forward and really springboard forward.
It's definitely going to be a fight. That's for sure.
Absolutely, guys. If you don't mind reading the comments, and then we're gonna let our friend Vixen in.
Sure, I'll bring him up. Misael Rosa said, "You don't think the addition of Suarez won't help?" You know
Yeah,
what? I think,
we talked about that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
think
touched on
it'll
that.
help. It'd be a lot of talk about it.
Yeah,
Sell a couple more tickets, overpriced tickets.
Yeah, will help take
yeah, for
my
sure.
Yes, me to the bottom of the table. And then Sergey I said, as long as I have a chance to unload my home tickets to pay for next season's.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
Um,
Serge said, I did. Stevenage was mentioned too.
all right, my man, my man. And for those, take your shot. Um, Miss El Rosa, this is a fact. We played Armada Jacksonville several years ago in Open Cup. And for those that want to learn or retain some obscure Orlando City media, trivia, I should say, the last time we played them in Open Cup, the goal scorer was none other than that dirty rowdy David Mateos. So 1-0 result. We got them out of the Open Cup, and I cried because we had to score against Miguel Gallardo, and it was like that meme with Wesley Snipes. He's crying, holding the camera. It's that's what it felt like to me. It was all business, me. It was all business, and we had to do that. And but you're one of the good guys now, so it doesn't matter. And what's the last comment there?
We played Armada in Jacksonville, and then the last
No,
one
the
was
after
Yes.
Misael.
Serge said we must to score 3 against Columbus to have a chance.
I believe that. Let's see what our friend thinks here, and we let our regular contributor Vixen. Welcome, my friend. You're on the capo stand,
Hey,
and there we go. There you are.
thank you. How you
If
guys doing?
technology allows us to get you on,
Hey,
you're there.
Vixen.
Hey, Vixen.
Hey, I thank you. I'm doing
Vixen, I think you're
fine.
muted, my friend. Check your mic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
We can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you, brother.
yeah. We got you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
sweet. Well, you know how you talk to your team, like just play this game just like every other game, and you'll be fine. That type of talk. We cannot play this game against Columbus like how we did against Nashville. Nashville, our defenders had to go against Mule, Schaffelberg, Fafa Picault, and Hani Mukhtar. Now, against Columbus, we have to go against El Cucho Hernandez from Watford, and then
Mhm.
Matan, the Romanian individual was who was a individual that came from Hagi's academy in Romania,
Yes.
and as well as a former MLS player and who has Champions League appearances, Diego Rossi.
Oof.
These are three big names
From
that are
Peñarol, by the way. Don't forget that part.
yes, that is very
And a
true.
personal friend, to
Facundo Torres.
Paco Torres. Yes.
Yes, sir. And these our defenders have to be ready. They cannot. In my opinion, they have better attacking than us, but we have better defending than they do. In my
We're
opinion,
playing at home.
and
Yeah.
we're
Well, I
playing at
feel
home.
like their attacking versus our attacking is much closer to their attacking than their defending is to our defending. If that
Correct.
makes sense.
Yes, thank you. You could have said it much better. I mean, we got a very slow French individual, Rudy Camacho, back in their back line. Then we have Steven Moreira, who just got called up for the Cape Verde national team, and on the left we have Amundsen, who scored a banger against Atlanta. But I think if we get ahead in the game, I think Angulo, Duncan McGuire, and Facundo Torres, and as well as Madison Pereira, can do damage to that defense. And we just have to go ahead and go all out and immediately from the get go. That is the key, in my
Absolutely.
opinion. That is from the get go, 150%. We cannot let them get into our brains. We can't let them have. We can't let them have the ball much. We can't let Columbus Crew get comfortable with the ball in any way, shape, or form. Now, what else was I gonna say? This game is at home. They what else? That's pretty much
Well,
it. And yeah, they've been in the MLS. They've been in the MLS playoffs a lot more than we have, so that adds on to
no,
the.
I mean they're a founding club, two MLS Cups, and several more appearances to their pedigree. Listen, to me, it's a rivalry. They're dangerous. We're going to this, in my opinion, with a lot of respect, but
Oof, absolutely.
not enough respect to just be. We're at home, we're hot, and Oscar Pareja is coaching for his job, in my opinion. And there's a lot of rumors and speculation that for a lot of the guys in our roster, this is it. This is the end of the road, and you want to go out in a blaze of glory. That said, there's some comments here by our friend Misael. If one of you guys can read them, because he mentions about three players that I think are gonna be factors come Saturday the 24th, 25th, or whatnot.
Yeah, Misael says also Julian Gressel, who always plays good against us. Darlington Nagby, another great player.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Ramirez off the bench. And
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Molino, LOL.
All deadly players, especially Soccer Warrior Kevin Molino, who has been, I know for a lot of people that became Orlando City fans during the MLS era, they only got to see him for a couple of games in 2015 and then 2016, and he was gone. But Kevin Molino, man, losing Kevin Molino was a huge mistake on the part of Orlando City. And I know he didn't want to stay here under Christ. And I know now why, obviously. But the fact of the matter, the guy's a prolific goal scorer. Obviously, he's not the man that he used to be. 2 or 3 knee surgeries later. But off the bench on the 80th minute, that man is dangerous. Darlington Nagby, a 3-time uh, champion with Portland, with Atlanta, with Columbus, national team player. I mean, this guy can score from all sorts of areas. And Christian Ramirez, Superman, a guy that terrorized the NASL and MLS with Minnesota United, a guy that went out to um, the
What's the
Scottish
Hearts?
football.
Aberdeen or Hearts?
Yeah, absolutely. He went to Scottish football. I mean, these are prolific players, very dangerous. They have a very dangerous attack. Is up to Oscar Pareja and the boys to identify how to win. And one of the things that I was reading about this week was that Oscar Pareja during his Papi Special era was playing a 4-3-3 defensive, and now we're playing a 4-2-3-1 offensive. And the that's what has brought the success, and this was because changes had to be made. And this is, I don't want to sink ourselves in the poppy in, poppy out controversy. I think serves nobody any good purpose, because people want to be right. People want to say, "See, I told you so." People want to dunk on other people. I'm not one of those people. But um, the fact of the matter is that while at the beginning people were blaming the players, I never thought the players were the problem. They are super talented. We all seen their scouting videos. They were prolific somewhere else. Why the hell all of a sudden they're gonna forget how to kick a ball here? But our system with the 4-3-3 was restricting, and with 4-2-3-1, man, which I say it all the time to anybody that has ears, I find it amazing that we can go with the most basic of football formations and score goals the way we are. And against Nashville, you couldn't see it because Nashville came to play for the penalty shootout. They never believed in themselves, and that's why they're out. That's why Gary Smith. That's why Stevenage fired Gary. And I'm gonna say it again, again and again and again. You second guess yourself, and this is why Orlando City defeated you in Open Cup. You had Orlando City begging for mercy, and you took out your weapons, and here comes Boy Wonder, Rodrigo Schlegel to tie the game, and the rest is history, as the boys say. The fact of the matter is that it's gonna be it's gonna be a war. It's gonna be a bloodbath. There's no tomorrow, guys. We're playing at home. If we defeat Columbus, we go to a turn. We go to a game where the end result is winning a trophy. I can't believe that people forget that if you win your conference, you get a trophy. You're the champion of the conference, and people forget those trophies. They forget to mention those trophies. And then, as a second reward, because it's like one of those like, wait, there's more. You get to go to MLS Cup, and if you win that, you're the champion of the league. So you got two
And you get a
trophies.
star over your badge.
Exactly. Look at all the prestige, and you get to go to CONCACAF.
You CONCACAF Champions League, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're already there, but you know what I'm saying. The prestige that of all this, and then you get to go back to the haters, to the Atlantas, to the Miamis, to the New York Cities, and laugh at their face because we have a great stadium. We got the trophies to show for. We got the start that they said that we couldn't have.
We had good fans too.
Yeah, we got good fans. Come on, that's facts are facts. Guys, before we go into our last comments here for the night and to close this out, just want to let you know that the series with Columbus as it stands, is 9 wins for Orlando, 4 draws, and 6 losses. So Orlando definitely has Columbus number. Um, the um, the last games that we have played against them, going from the very last one, the beginning, it was in October of last of 2022. We won 2-1 in Orlando. Then it was a 2-2 tie in Columbus, and then in September, a 4-3 victory in Orlando against Columbus. Once again, Saturday, November 25th, 5:30 p.m. Local time. Orlando City welcomes these guys, and who are not coming to do us any favors. They are coming to win, and that's what I want. I don't want I don't want anything gifted. They're coming to win. You are yet to find out who our ref is gonna be. If it's one of the usual suspects, we're gonna be playing against 12 men, and that's difficult. But if you are in the stands, making noise, screaming, supporting the boys, I think anything can happen, guys. And I join Misael Rosa's comment there. I am dying to have that star above the batch. Trust me, my friend. Um, I have said it many times. If we win MLS Cup, just close your social media for a week, because I am going to be so unbearable, so overbearing. I don't know what, and I have said before, I'm gonna have to contain myself. Actually, I'm gonna chain myself to my seat, because I may pitch invade. I'm saying it right now. I don't know what to do with myself, guys. This is a dream come true.
I don't
And
think you'll be. I don't think you'll be the only one pitch evading with that.
no, for sure, brother. And while it would have been cool, like Atlanta to win it on second year and all that jazz, um, it will be sweeter, because to get here, we had to starve first. We didn't show up with a full stomach. Oh, we're new here, trophy, click, click. No, we're showing up after years in the desert. We had crossed the Sahara in skates, and I don't know what to tell you. I cried when we won Open Cup. I cried. I gotta admit to you. My kids were there. I cried. We win MLS Cup. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Guys, let's go over your last thoughts about this. And also, once you guys finish, we'll talk about what the playoff picture is looking like, and that's that. So let's start with you, Vixen, and then John, and then Ahmed.
Well, I wanted to say something about Maciel's comment.
Yeah,
He mentioned Julian Gressel. Julian Gressel played a terrible game in downtown Atlanta that he had to get subbed out, and he didn't even start in the next game in downtown Columbus. He didn't even start. Wilfred Nancy, the coach of Columbus, he didn't even put him to start. So I don't know what he has plans for Julian Gressel in Orlando, but I don't see him starting in Orlando.
let's play that he keeps his form then.
Yeah, and then Marcel also mentioned Darlington Nagby, and I dislike him very much
Me too.
because he made some comments about playing with the United States men's national team in the past. I have it right here, and I just it's upsetting. Like a player said that about playing with the United States men's national team, and
It's a privilege, and it should remain like that. So if you don't like it, sir, sit down, shut up, and let somebody that wants to sweat the colors of this nation. One which
indeed,
I sworn to defend at a very young age, and that's not a regret of mine. So let's just
absolutely.
leave it at that. Anything else, Vixen?
Yeah. It took us only 2 times to beat Nashville, and it took Columbus 3 times to beat Atlanta. Um, I don't know if that you could because
It's
you're
gonna
only
be a
playing against
factor. It's gonna be a factor, in my opinion.
yes. Mm-hmm.
They have
And
to play one more game. Some people are like, oh well, that. In all honesty, worked out in our favor because obviously we were gonna lose our guys to international duty. So,
That's correct.
John,
So you you brought it up to switch the formation earlier in the year about what Poppy did. Just the move he made, genius move because it worked out. It doesn't work out. We probably aren't sitting here talking about us playing Columbus in the conference semifinals. And honestly, we said it. I said it a couple months ago. If Orlando City wins this game, Poppy's probably our coach next year. Does just deserve
hmm
earn the right
absolutely
to be our coach next year, our manager next year. So, you know, I hope we win. I hope we win handedly, get to that the conference final, and I like our chances against Cincinnati because you stop one person on Cincinnati, you stop them all. There's one person on that team that scares me, and then that's it.
for sure, my friend, for sure. Ahmed,
Yeah. Honestly, I think we covered it all. We really did. We just need to come out swinging. We can't let any opportunities go wasted. Um, and we need to play to win. It's not enough to. This is it. This is what I've been talking about all this time. This is the last game if we don't play the way we're supposed to.
for sure, for
We
sure.
can't treat it like every other game. We can't assume that we're going to play like we did the last time. We can't assume that we're going to make a comeback. We have to play to trash them from the first minute.
Yeah.
We can't be like 2020.
We
No.
got to make sure that Sporting Kansas City, LAFC, Seattle Sounders, and
Yeah.
Houston Dynamo are be like, oh my gosh,
And we
this
can't
hmm
take
team
the lead.
here.
Yeah.
I want them to say that.
Yeah.
You
We can't.
know. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Yeah. No, I was going to say we can't get up by 1 point and then just hold on to that.
For sure.
We cannot do that
Yep.
at all. That will be. Ugh, I'm not.
No, for sure, for sure. We gotta score 2, 3 goals and keep the ball away from these guys.
Yeah.
Before we say goodbye, I would like to remind everybody that the Saturday 25th, 5:30, Orlando City against Columbus in Orlando. At 8 p.m. that same night, Cincinnati will be hosting Philadelphia. In the event that Philadelphia defeats Cincinnati, the conference championship will be played in Orlando, and so will be MLS Cup. Just so you know. And then in the West, the following day, the 26th at 7 p.m., Houston against Kansas, the wedding crashers of this tournament, and Seattle against LAFC. From the West, I'm gonna tell you is interesting because all these teams have won MLS at least once. Uh, Kansas City, I hold no animosity. In fact, if Orlando City was not in the tournament, I will say my favorites within that. I love to root for the underdog. It's if you look in the West, in the East, I'm sorry, you see that the teams making the semifinals are teams 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you go on the West, it's teams 2, 3, 4, and 8 because St. Louis decided to crap the bed at the last second. Um, if I had to pick a team from the West that I wanted to defeat, LAFC, we embarrassed them in MLS's back. I think is overdue to bury the darling of MLS at our house. Seattle, to be honest with you, they're not the Seattle of years past. Kansas City is inspired to me. Kansas City is the one that scares me. They're dangerous, and I have a lot of affection to them since we were their USL affiliate back in the day. So I still find a lot of kinship and a lot of connection to Kansas City. Houston is a very similar team to us. From Cincinnati and Philadelphia, I rather face Philadelphia. I think Cincinnati is very stacked, and also having to play the final in their house is going to be very uphill battles. Now that there's this thing called winter, where it gets cold up north, and I think it's going to be a factor
It was 40
for
degrees in Columbus. It was
yes,
40
and you know
degrees.
what? Out of all the cities in the West, only Kansas City and Seattle are in cold weather, and in the East, everybody else is except us. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that's going to develop itself. If Orlando City were to pass to the finals, December 3rd will be when we'll be deciding who gets to go to the big dance. December 9th will be who decides in the West. And December 12th is going to be I'm sorry, my apologies. December 3rd is when we get to decide who goes to the final. December 2nd and 3rd is when we decide who goes to MLS Cup, and December 9th is going to be the big dance, hopefully 4 p.m. here in Orlando. So we'll have to see. Friends, thank you very much for once again joining us. Once again, reminding you that we can be seen live on Twitch at On the Capistan, X at On the Capistan, YouTube at Davis Channel 76, Instagram at On the Capistan, Facebook at On the Capistan, TikTok at On the Capistan, Threads, you guessed it, at On the Capistan. And last on Blue Sky at On the Capistan. I try to keep things too many apps. We're trying to push as much as possible. And thank you very much for everybody that was with us live. Everybody that's gonna watch this later on during the week. Everybody that's gonna listen to us on your favorite app. Which, by the way, most people consume us on audio form. So we appreciate that. Everybody that commented, if are we missing any comments before we go? I hate leaving comments
Yeah,
unread.
we got a couple more from Miss Sayel. I'll finish them off.
Please do.
He says, I'm an Eagles fan. When we won the Super Bowl, I celebrated and drove people crazy for a year.
Beautiful. That's the
and
way
I
to do it, baby.
Yep. And then I feel like this is talking about Julian Gressel,
Nagby.
but he turns it
Don't
on
grasp me.
when he sees purple. And then he continues, I hear you about Nagby, but facts are he has a passing accuracy of 96 and 97% every year and is a dangerous shooter outside of the box.
1,000%.
He finishes off with please everyone invite friends, family, etc. Let's pack the place. Please, please, please.
Absolutely. And I will a beautiful way to finish. Bring everybody. Bring the dog. Just put a badge says service dog and bring him into. Everybody should pack the house this November 25th. Let's show people that they've been sleeping on Orlando City, and we're gonna make them pay for that. Thank you very much for everybody that like I said watch us live, that will watch us later, that will listen to us later. It's an honor and a privilege to do the show for you guys. Also, next Monday we're not gonna have a show. It's Thanksgiving weekend. People have plans. Quite honestly, there's not much to talk about. We definitely gonna see you the Monday after to talk about a victory for Orlando City. I believe that the boys of the 407 are gonna deliver, and then we're gonna start dreaming big. Dreaming big. We're gonna win, and we're gonna win some more. That's the plan. So I want to thank Vixen for joining us again, as he usually does. He has us a custom. Thank you very much, my friend.
Yes.
And I would like to remind everybody that football is the sport for those that don't mind having their mouth smashed and their hearts broken. Football is played on grass, not on paper. Football is cruel and unpredictable. Football will make you cry for joy or anger. And if he hasn't, have you ever really football? From Vixen, John, Ahmed, and yours truly, may God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando!